Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
5 basketball cities are now on KD alert, the franchises that Kevin Durant reportedly had interest in joining at the NBA trade deadline. So, does he want to play alongside Ant-Man? Does he want to experience Heat culture and the NBA's premier destination city? Will he return to the state of Texas, or will he end up with the ghosts and the legends in Madison Square Garden? 5 cities now abuzz with the possibilities of trading for one of the GOATs, a first ballot Hall of Famer, just like we were the day the news broke that KD was coming to Phoenix. You remember that? Do you remember how awestruck DeAndre Ayton seemed in his presence? Do you remember that debut press conference in front of shrieking, slobbering fans? Did we ever think it would end up like this? Now we're coming to the end of our journey, and I think the Suns cannot afford to let KD return to the court, but KD might have different ideas. An appointment on an All-NBA team requires that he plays 3 more games, which would be a powerful testament to the legacy that he surely wants to leave behind, that it's not KD's fault. Either way, I'm not sure a great athlete has come to Arizona, performed up to his individual standards, lived up to all the hype, and left with so little success and so many failed expectations. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Matt Ishbia, the Suns owner, has shown already in his ownership that he's aggressive. He's willing to make moves. He's going to make a million swings as Suns owner. But this iteration of Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker just has not worked. And so roster-wise, the changes that are likely coming to Phoenix likely start with Kevin Durant. And who out there in the NBA believes they're a Kevin Durant away? I think the playoffs are going to play a big factor in which team gets eliminated early, which team might feel like if they bring in KD, they could be a step away.
Yeah, that was Shams Charania yesterday, NBA Today, talking about roster changes likely starting with Kevin Durant. He also dropped the nugget about the 5 cities. There were reported mutual interest between Kevin Durant and those franchises at the deadline. Nothing came to fruition. But he also said, look, trade talks are probably going to start back up as soon as the Sun season is over.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty much over.
Right. And what does have to happen is the NBA playoffs have to play out to see who is really compelled to get Kevin Durant. So when you get to this whole thing, and we've talked about his army of online stands and the hashtag blame KD and how they do that in sort of a sarcastic way to say, come on, of all the issues in Arizona, you're going to blame, no one's blaming Kevin Durant. If you are going to look back at what the failure was here, the failure was not realizing exactly who KD is and who Devin Booker is and surrounding them with the right kind of people. And by the time they realized exactly who that person was, Jimmy Butler, a person who wanted to come here, they couldn't get it done. That's going to be, for a trade that really never could happen, that's going to go down as one of the underrated what-ifs in our sports town history.
Oh, I don't know if it'll be underrated. I think it's going to be it's going to be a whopper on that list of what ifs. And you said, look, nobody's blaming KD. I don't think that's necessarily true because, again, everybody deserves blame. He's partially at fault here. Well, this should have been way better.
Okay, no, listen. I don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it's he's absolved from it. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Kevin Durant is who Kevin Durant is as a basketball player. He's not going to step in and be that leader kind of guy, and he's going to do things his way. There are things about Kevin Durant that have been true for many, many years. And I think that having that alpha in the presence, which they don't, was the fatal flaw. It's why this team doesn't have toughness. It's why this team doesn't have leadership. And the Jimmy Butler thing would have solved it. Jimmy Butler, I was listening to a couple of radio hosts, Bay Area radio hosts, and they were raving not about what Jimmy Butler has done for the Golden State Warriors, but what he's done for Steph Curry. By giving them the inside-out attack, by having a guy that can, as they say in the game today, touch the paint. It's changed everything.
It's not like Butler's statistics are amazing with Golden State.
It's not what he's about, man.
Right.
It's not what he's about. And it's a shame because had they been able to do that and get that piece, I think we would be talking about a team that was capable of winning a championship.
Maybe. And the what-if list, put that one on there because, going back to the trade deadline, when the Jimmy Butler story and the fascination, the mutual fascination between he and Phoenix was out there, I had my doubts based on what I saw. Like, how is Jimmy Butler, this malcontent who's disgruntled in Miami and has basically turned his back on that team, how is he going to come in here and fix all the issues? And we'll never know the answer to that question because he fixed a lot of issues in Golden State just by that presence. And then when I think about it even more, I get more pissed off about what we've sat through this year. That if Jimmy Butler was capable, if that what if was possible to reach, it's even more frustrating that one guy could come in from the outside, swoop in, and wave a magic wand and fix what was wrong with this team. Because that would indicate they were close the whole time.
Yes. But they're missing that really critical piece.
Well, what you said about how Kevin Durant does deserve some blame. So on that, what is it that he could have done differently over the last 2.5 years with the Suns that would have been more successful?
I mean, I think a lot of that is hypothetical because it borders on something that he has not done comfortably in his career, and that is take on the leadership role. But he's been very clear in every stop he has. I just want to play ball.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah.
He just played ball
And that's
when
what he did.
This team needed more than that.
Yeah. I think there was some defensive deficiencies that have cropped up and, lackadaisical getting back on defense. It's just individual things like that.
But that's plagued the whole team.
That's plagued the entire team. So that to me, it's sad if that is going to be the end, if there is no play-in for this team. But again, it's what are you chasing?
To get really, really basic about it, Jarrett, he could have averaged 40 points a game. An extra 13 points a game really would have helped this team, I think.
Right. So the fact that Kevin Durant could have been eligible for an All-NBA team, because there's caveats, and I know Vinny knows this, that when you get injured this late in the season, if you have played 85% of your team's games, you're still good. You still will qualify. KD's only at 82.7, which I guess would be one game off. Maybe two. That's it. So he's going to have some incentive, and I don't think that if Kevin Durant took the floor, if Kevin Durant said, look, I want to play. I really want to end my time in Phoenix on a basketball court.
Yeah, and I believe that's what he feels.
Yeah. Then he's going to want to play because he's not going to want to go and just step on a court and say, okay, I'm good for now. Because KD's got his own standards.
And again, no matter how bad the Suns do, whenever Kevin Durant is ready to come back, they might still be in it because of the teams ahead of them.
Friday night's a big night. The Suns are in Boston. Sacramento has got Charlotte, and if the Kings can't beat Charlotte,
they lose back-to-back games to the Wizards and the Hornets.
Then it's here. You take it. No, you take it. No, I don't want it. You take it.
The Suns have lost to Charlotte and nearly lost to Washington this
That's
year.
true. It's true. So, but again, if this is your only real tradable asset, don't you have to protect it? Don't you have to say, Kevin, we love you, man, but we got to shut you down?
No, and we can go back to the Bradley Beal comments. If Bradley Beal's comments are we still can make a run, if that's the belief of this group, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I guess.
And Jarrett is right. I mean, they're still in this thing.
I know.
As ridiculous as that sounds, but it is impossible to leapfrog a team that is ahead of you in the standings without winning a game. That has never happened in the history of sports, and it never will.
What if both these teams lose every game they play until the game they play against each other at the end of the season?
Who has the tiebreaker then?
Suns win if they win the game. Beam it up, baby. Light the beam. What do they do in Sacktown?
Light the beam.
Light the beam.
Oh, my goodness.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.